What was your life story?
Somewhere in college I got to know कि यार मते जॉब हेई परिवनी
कितने लोग थिले कौन थिले?
5-6 ही पिला थिले. We had to borrow money to give them salaries.
Why does government put a simple rule कि सबू पेट्रोल पंप रे EV charges रहया कथा?
I have not visited petrol bunk. माने if you charge at home it's like literally maybe 1,000 rupees a month.
Why do Marwadi people slog a lot?
I'm sure it is not for everybody. In Odisha it's not the case.
We went to the tourism department. He said, "Ei jagata dei haba kintu dei habani." So dei habani. Then how would you promote tourism, especially Odisha tourism? Should learn from Thailand. India 20 ବର୍ଷ ବହୁତ grow କରିବ. So it is the right time to be an entrepreneur.
But you don't need so many people. That's one of the clear things I can see.
Hello, I'm Pankaj Motwani and welcome to another new episode from our Bangalore office. Ajiro guest Odisha jane young tech visionary, a man who's pioneering India's EV revolution, Mr. Jyotiranjan Harichandan, co-founder of Bolt.Earth. From startup hustle to building one of the India's largest EV charging networks, se prove karichanti innovation starts with vision but scales with purpose. ତାଙ୍କ କମ୍ପାନୀ ଆଜି କନେକ୍ଟ କରୁଛି ହଜାର ଚାର୍ଜିଂ ପଏଣ୍ଟସ୍ ଆକ୍ରସ୍ ସିଟିଜ୍ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଟାଉନ୍ସ, ବ୍ରିଙ୍ଗିଂ ଗ୍ରୀନ୍ ମୋବିଲିଟି କ୍ଲୋଜର ଟୁ କମନ୍ ପିପଲ୍. ଚାଲନ୍ତୁ ଶୁଣିବା ଆଜି ତାଙ୍କ କାହାଣୀ. ହାଇ ଜ୍ୟୋତି, ନମସ୍କାର. ଥ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ୟୁ ଟାଇମ୍ କାଢ଼ିକି ଆସିଲେ ଏଇ ଶୋକୁ. ବହୁତ ଭଲ ଲାଗିଲା.
Thank you Pankaj for inviting me. I have been following your show ଗୋଟେ ବର୍ଷରୁ ଉପରକୁ ତ ମୁଁ ଫଲୋ ହିଁ କରୁଛି ଆଉ ବହୁତ କିଛି ମୋତେ ବି ଜାଣିବାକୁ ମିଳୁଛି about Odisha. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to come here.
My pleasure. So what was your life story? At what point ଆପଣ ଜବ୍ରୁ ଗୋଟେ ବିଜନେସମ୍ୟାନ୍ କି entrepreneurship ରୋଲ୍ରୁ shift କଲେ? Then how has it the journey has been? So please.
ମୁଁ ଆକ୍ଚୁଆଲି କଟକ ପାଖରେ ବାଙ୍କି ତା ପାଖରେ ମୋ ଗାଁ ଡମ୍ପଡ଼ା, ସେଇଠୁ ମୁଁ ଆସିଛି. ମାଇ ଡ୍ୟାଡ୍ ହି ୱାର୍କଡ୍ ହିଜ୍ ଏଣ୍ଟାୟାର ଲାଇଫ୍ ଇନ୍ ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ଅଫ୍ ଇଣ୍ଡିଆ. So he was in bank but he was getting transfers all over. So I've stayed almost all of Odisha and India also.
10th କୋଉଠି ପଢିଥିଲେ?
10th ମୁଁ ପଢ଼ିଥିଲି KV number 1 ରେ. 11th 12th ମୁଁ ପଢ଼ିଥିଲି ପ୍ରଭୁଜୀ ଇଂଲିଶ ମିଡ଼ିୟମ୍ ସ୍କୁଲରେ. ତାପରେ ମୁଁ 4 ବର୍ଷ ଗୋଆରେ ହିଁ ରହିଥିଲି. ଇଞ୍ଜିନିୟରିଂ ପୁରା କିଛି ଅଧିକ ପଢ଼ିନଥିଲି କାହିଁକିନା ଗୋଆରେ ଥିଲି. ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟ ବିଜନେସ୍ରେ ମୋର ଆକ୍ଚୁଆଲି ଇଞ୍ଜିନିୟରିଂ କଲେଜ ଗଲା ପରେ ହିଁ ଆସିଯାଇଥିଲା. ଆଇ ୟୁଜ୍ ଟୁ ଟେଲ୍ ମାଇ ଡ୍ୟାଡ୍ ଯେତେବେଳେ ସିଏ ଲୋନ୍ ସାଙ୍କସନ୍ କରିବାକୁ ଯାଉଥିଲେ ତ ସେସବୁ ମୁଁ ଭିଜିଟ୍ କରେ ବାପାଙ୍କ ସହିତ.
What I am very surprised about it is कि जब बैंक रे किए लोन निए, the other guy wants to learn your business. माने जे बैंक तरफ रो आसी छिए, he will ask your business in and out till he is not clear.
Yes.
ठीक अछि. आ जदि आपण तांको संगे बसी गले, you will know the business कि business टा कोठू पैसा आछी, केते लोक अछंती, खर्च केते होउची, प्रॉफिट केते आछी, तमरो वेंडर किए, वेंडर भलो कि नाही, तमरो सेल्स कोठी होउची, से माने टाइमली पेमेंट दउचंती कि नाही. तो दैट इज द बेस्ट पार्ट. देखिए जेति की भलो ईच एंड एवरी बिजनेस गोटे बैंकर स्टडी करे, माने नॉर्मल डे रे सेति की लोक जानि नहंती.
When you are a banker, you can basically, I think, know in and out of all businesses because you have looked at multiple businesses, so you know how to compare literally apples to oranges. Though mo pai to seda bas was more field trip obviously I was not getting insights into the business, but that helped me understand how do basically businesses operate. And that time also I think 2008 to 12 mu paduthuli. Startup was not basically a very buzzword essentially. And I had to still do business essentially. Somewhere in college I got to know कि यार मते job हेई परिवनी. At least
अच्छा, से feeling तो थिला starting.
हाँ, से feeling ता थिला. तो 12th रे I got graduated when I got the offer. So I realized कि यार हेई परिवनी, we just have to save money and start. I was thinking यार 30 वर्ष आगरू कर दवा कथा काहेकि ना तापरे responsibility ये से बहुत किछि होबा. So that's where basically I thought I'll just start after college, but again I worked for a couple of years.
You graduated in electronics?
No, I graduated in chemical engineering. But I was interested in electronics and computers. तो बिट्स रे भलो जिनस थिला कि तमे क्लास रो अटेंडेंस नाही किछि. So you can stay at your room, you can study, you can do whatever you want. The only thing is you can't go outside because it is Goa and you might not come back. So ମୁଁ ନିଜେ ପଢ଼େ ନିଜେ ବେସିକଲି ଯେ ମୋର ସାଙ୍ଗସାଥି ମାନେ ଥିଲେ ଇଲେକ୍ଟ୍ରୋନିକ୍ସ ରୋବୋଟିକ୍ସ କ୍ଲବରେ ତାଙ୍କ ସହିତ କାମ କରେ ଆଣ୍ଡ ତାପରେ କମ୍ପ୍ୟୁଟର ସାଇନ୍ସରେ ମୋର ଅରାକଲ୍ ଫାଇନାନ୍ସରେ ହେଇଯାଇଥିଲା ଅରାକଲ୍ ଫାଇନାନ୍ସ ଟେକ୍ନୋଲୋଜିସ୍ ସୋ when I started in the internship of ଏସବୁ ଜିନିଷ then startup was just picking up. You could see Flipkart, first experience of basically ordering books online, paying online, getting it delivered. So that entire thing was starting up. That's when I realized कि एथरे किछि करिवार अछि आ प्रथम 2-3 वर्ष मु काम करी Oracle आ गोटे Thorogood Associates करके ना आ गोटे company I joined. Then I started a small company called Munchbee, which was that time competing with Swiggy.
Oh, this is 2014.
2014. This is the time everybody was starting in food tech. So didn't work out, but I joined a friend startup who just raised money from BITS Pilani campus.
ସେଟା କଣ ଥିଲା?
So setup na thala Hunger Box. That was a B2C product. They were directly competing with Swiggy. B2C रे app रे order करो तो second की third employee थी वो थे founders for. Worked there for 1.5 years and then I was like कि 2016-17 में I was like कि नहीं एबे ही try करियर अच्छे again the 30 deadline I had. So that's when I basically started Bolt.Earth. That time it was called REVOS. We were trying to build operating system and physical and digital infrastructure for electric vehicles. So 2016-17 रे EVs भी नथिले सेतळे but we were like हमको EVs रो ही बनयार अछि.
तो फर्स्ट कोन काम स्टार्ट करले सेटा रे?
So basically आमे दी जण बाइक बहुत ट्रिप करूथलु तो we realized कि देखो इंडिया रे बाइक्स आर गोइंग टू बी देयर ଆଉ ସେତେବେଳେ ଆପଣ ଯଦି ଗ୍ଲୋବାଲି ଟ୍ରେଣ୍ଡ ଦେଖିବେ ତ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ୱାଜ୍ ଜଷ୍ଟ ଦ ଟାଇମ୍ ଟେସ୍ଲା ୱାଜ୍ ବ୍ରେକିଂ ଆଉଟ୍ ଇଭେନ୍ BYD ୱାଜ୍ ବ୍ରେକିଂ ଆଉଟ୍ ବଟ୍ ଅଲ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଦେମ୍ ଆର୍ ଇନ୍ କାର୍ ଫର୍ମ ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟର୍ସ ମୋଷ୍ଟ ଅଫ୍ ଦ ଟେକ୍ନୋଲୋଜି ଇନ୍ କାର୍ ट्रक्स बसेस आर बेसिकली ट्रिकल डाउन टेक्नोलोजी फ्रॉम वेस्ट टू ईस्ट जो टेक्नोलोजी आसो सेटा प्रथम यूएस रे ही आसो तापर इंडिया वाला अडॉप्ट करी EVs 2007-8 रे अच्छी टेस्ला एटलिस्ट दो हियर ऑल्सो रेवा इलेक्ट्रिक कार बनथिला 2007-8 रे बट पीपल वर नॉट रेडी टू एक्सेप्ट एंड दिस थिंग.
तो 16-17 फर्स्ट आइडिया कोन थिला रेवोस रे?
तो रेवोस रे आइडिया थिला कि आमे किछि भी डिजिटल और फिजिकल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बनेउ 2-3 व्हीलर को इलेक्ट्रिक करियाबो तो प्रथमे आमे खाली सॉफ्टवेयर ऊपर ही फोकस करिवो बट स्लोली स्टडीली वी रियलाइज्ड कि इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इज गोइंग टू बी अ बिगर पार्ट ऑफ इट.
हां माने सॉफ्टवेयर तमे कहा पई करिवो माने के तो
आमे कहउथलु कि आमे जेबोला ओला एथर हेरकारे टच स्क्रीन एबे आछ 2 व्हीलर हेरकारे सेटा 2 व्हीलर पे के बनोनो थिले तो सेटा आमे बन्यागु फर्स्ट आरंभ करथलु.
अच्छा.
हां वी फाउंड सम कनेक्ट्स इन डिफरेंट OEMs तो तांकु जागिना पिच कलु बट व्हाट वी रियलाइज इज कि इट टेक्स टाइम टू बिल्ड क्रेडिबिलिटी इन ऑटो इंडस्ट्री. एसेंशियली इट इज अ वेरी स्लो basically moving industry compared to a consumer electronics. And one of our advisors, early advisors, he suggested कि यार तमे चाइना जाओ.
तो 16-17 किछि इनकमिंग होथिला ना डिजाइन वर्क ही चलथिला?
16-17 रे टिके बहुत इनकम आमे एमिति करथलु सर्विस प्रोजेक्ट्स नै जाउथलु इन द सेम ऑटो इंडस्ट्री. इट यूज्ड टू हेल्प अस बिल्ड कनेक्ट्स, इट यूज्ड टू हेल्प अस गेट सम रेवेन्यू, गेट द बेसिक थिंग गोइंग कि आमे 2-3 जण काम करथलु तो टिके सैलरी वैलरी निजर मिल जावा कथा सेति.
तो माने फैमिली क्वेश्चंस एंड ऑल केमती थिला जनरली यू नो व्हेन यू आर फ्रॉम अ ओडिया फैमिली माने गोटे से जंप इज डिफिकल्ट फैमिली तो हाउ वाज योर फैमिली?
So I think initially they were also basically not able to understand you. What is this guy doing? Why does he want to leave a job which pays him well? And there are other fellows also who are also quitting their job. कि मो co-founder भी बिट्स रही मो बैचमेट एंड सेम हॉस्टल तो वी वर स्टेइंग टुगेदर. एसेंशियली वी टुक अ 2 BHK हियर दी रूम रे हम रहथलु आ पूरा जो डाइनिंग रूम आ बाकी सब रे हमर लैब थिला. हमको सेतोळ भी जणा थिला कि माने EV रे ही करिवार हमको छ ब्रेक थ्रू मिल जो बड़ कंपनी रे काइना they don't know anything. We have to know more than what they know at all points of time. That is our moat essentially till today also and going in the future also. That should be our moat.
Then coming back China gole.
China was very big. It was very eye opening. Like 2016-17 somebody going to China was like in EV and we were trying to sell to them, so we sold also some of the software products. So they were EV makers. When we reached China, we realized there are some 3,000 EV makers. India re total message the company is about 30-40 two-wheeler companies now.
2017 रे 5
10 थिले एबे EV जोगु टिके अधिक आछन्ते तो China infrastructure, the support ecosystem for manufacturing, especially electronics, like blew my mind. It opens up the eyes for you for the electronics.
So electronics hub is Shenzhen.
Electronics hub is Shenzhen. So I've been to Shenzhen like multiple times. In fact, first few prototypes also ସେଇଠି ଆମେ ବନଉଥିଲୁ. But then in China we found partners and some investors ମାନେ invest ବି କଲେ ଆମ companyରେ.
Oh.
And ସେତେବେଳୁ 2018-19 they helped us get more customers also who were exporting to India or other places. And with that we raised our first round of investment from angels.
କେତେ रेस करलो?
ତ ସେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ I think 1.5 crores raise କରିଥିଲୁ.
इन्वेस्टमेंट आसिला लोक बसेनी यू टू वर्क 10x मोर माने बहुत लोक भाबंती कि ओ स्टार्टअप रे इन्वेस्टमेंट आसिगला माने दैट्स द वर्स्ट पार्ट नाउ द स्लॉग स्टार्ट्स सो व्हाट प्रोडक्ट डिड यू गो इनटू देन
So we basically started building the speedometers, which were digital, and the chargers.
Public chargers or individual chargers?
So it was individual and public. So you can switch. Even today we follow this. Every individual charger can be switched as a public charger.
4-wheeler रो EV इकोसिस्टम टा सेटअप करिबा और 2-3-wheeler रो EV इकोसिस्टम टा सेटअप करिबा वेरी कॉस्ट सेंसिटिव माने सेटा गोटे चैलेंज थिला कि केमती कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव रहइबा सब बडे.
So now we make products, of course, overall over the value chain that includes 2-wheeler, 3-wheeler, 4-wheeler, bus truck also. We have deployed a few of the government projects also. ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରୁଥିଲୁ ସେତେବେଳେ actually 4-wheelers କେହି ନଥିଲେ. The only 2-3-wheelers which were getting sold were being sold by getting CKDs from China. ଆମର ଦିଲ୍ଲୀ ଗଲେ ସେଠି ବହୁତ ଗୁଡ଼େ e-rickshaw ମିଳିବ. So that was there. So we didn't face a problem basically launching. Obviously our expectation was also very low that time. So we were telling कि भाई आज मासको 100टा चार्जर बिक्री हो गले is good enough. We will start somewhere at least. We were initially making it in China because that's where the supply chain was. But then COVID happened.
कितने लोग थिले कौन थिले?
5-6 ही पिला थिले. We had to basically borrow money to give them salaries. COVID kind of reset a lot of stuff also globally if you look at it. Yes. But then we realized कि India रे ही manufacture करिया best. So whatever we learnt in China back till COVID, we basically used that to launch a new product in India, which was the cheapest charging point across the world essentially. Not only for 2-3-wheelers, we designed it in a way that it can charge a car also. So from then we started manufacturing only in India. All of our products now are made in India only.
So 50-60% of your business is the charging.
Yeah.
Speedometer कहाँ को बिकु चा?
स्पीडोमीटर आम एने बिक्री करूनु कहीं इंडिया रे टिके रेगुलेटरी फ्रेमवर्क चेंज होगला कंसोलिडेशन भी होगला मार्केट रे आम भावुलु कि अधिका ईवी ओईएम आसीबे लाइक चाइना 3000 एटलीस्ट 300 तो थिबा कथा इंडिया रे बट नाउ इट हैज रिड्यूस्ड टू 30 एंड दे आर इवन रिड्यूसिंग इवन फर्दर एंड आम जस्ट वी आर डबलिंग डाउन ऑन बेसिकली द चार्जिंग फ्रॉम लास्ट 2-3 इयर्स.
कहाँ को सप्लाई करछो?
आमे चार्जिंग सप्लाई करछु बजाज, महिंद्रा, Piaggio, a lot of other companies also. We work with the likes of Ather, Ola to deploy charging point. 4-wheeler अभी हमें टाटा, महिंद्रा 4-wheelers ମାନଙ୍କ ସହିତ କାମ କରୁଛୁ. ଆଉ buses ରେ, trucks ରେ we generally supply for the tenders. So we started basically doing all the things around charging from 2021, 2020. Taporto, we have grown essentially substantially since then.
This was the story post-COVID, Aji Jange. What is next? What is next you are planning to do with the new funding and $30 million of funding? I think now pressure is a lot more. How many employees do you have?
So we have about 150 employees. Now we are basically aiming to be profitable by next year, essentially. Like that's the goal post we have for ourselves. Today we are growing at anywhere between 3 to 4 times in revenue every year. We want to continue that for the next 2 to 4 years and then we will see where we can go from there. One problem at a time.
So ebe tome charger infrastructure upare hi concentrate.
So we are the largest charging network in India today by the number of points. If you go to Bureau of Energy Efficiency, every CPO shares tankara number keteta charging point lagichanti. We have the largest share also. 56% market share.
When we see a charger, gote charger ro ame jebe stand ta dekhuchu, is it basically transformer with stabilizer, something like that?
आम ग्रेड गुड़ा AC रे चले. AC करंट रे, अल्टरनेटिंग करंट रे. कार भीतर जो बैटरी यूज हो इंक्लूडिंग एनी बैटरी, कैमरा हो, फोन्स हो, लैपटॉप हो कि कार हो, सेटा सब DC रे ऑपरेट करे. तो सेठी कोन होय ना कि कन्वर्ट करा होय AC टू DC रे. तो रेक्टिफायर्स थांती ता भितर जोटा कि कन्वर्ट करे आ ताकू सही एक्जाक्ट वोल्टेज और करंट रे जति से नहीं पारिबो कि मागुची सेति रे ही दबाकू पड़िबो. So that's what happens in the charging station. And because we associate a lot ki refueling is like कि बड़ा बड़ा पेट्रोल पंप रे जीबी सेठी गोटे काढ़िले पुरेइबी गाड़ी रे ताहले पेट्रोल रिफ्यूल होबा. But if you look at कि electricity is everywhere. It's around in the room also. It socket रे मिल जो electricity. This is in fact a charging point if you look at it. Most of the charging will happen at your home only or your office. These two places you spend 80-90% of your time. So if you are able to electrify these two locations, the 90% problem seମିତି भी solve ହେଇଗଲା. You don't have to ever visit a petrol bunk again. Since I have gotten an EV car and I have been using EV two-wheelers for quite some time now, I have not visited petrol bunk. Only when I go to Bhubaneswar and drive my dad's car or I am taking a long trip or something like that. तो सेतବେଳେ ମୋତେ ଜଣା ପଡ଼େ କେତେ ଅଧିକ ପଇସା ଦେବାକୁ ପଡ଼ୁଛି petrol ପାଇଁ. ମାନେ if you charge at home, it's like literally maybe 1,000 rupees a month essentially for a car, which is like nothing. Even if you're driving 20-30 kilometers a day. For a bike, it's 200 rupees or 300 rupees. It's like one time fueling रे भी ताठू अधिक पैसा लग जाऊ 2 लीटर मिलुथो आज 200 टंका रे. Basically obviously government also has to educate and the infrastructure which we are thinking कि सब जगह रे पेट्रोल पंप दरकार but सब जगह रे EV charging point दरकार but एते बड़ा बड़ा चार्जर दरकार नहीं आपन.
Why does government put a simple rule कि सबू पेट्रोल पंप रे EV charges रहया कथा? मैंने it will solve a lot of problems.
Government I think is doing a lot. It has mandated, it has given subsidies. Now petrol bunk रे भी लगाउछंती. But the point is कि EVs will not get refueled in like 5-10 minutes today. Today India also grid problem अछि. से electric मु device तो लगे देबी. That's not a problem. But ट्रांसफॉर्मर दरकार पछरु ग्रिड रो दरकार पावर एबे बहुत कम पावर यूज.
और सेटा हाईवे रे ही परिबनी.
सेटा हाईवे रे पावर तो नथिबो एसेंशियली.
आ शहर रे पावर थिबो किंतु पेट्रोल पंप जगह रे स्पेस नथिबो.
EVs take like half an hour to 1 hour to charge essentially. Practically any EV to get any kind of range. It's not like 2 minutes before. If you look at it as a consumer behavior, you want everything delivered at your home essentially. Why not fueling, refueling or recharging? निज घर निजर पार्किंग रे गोटे चार्जर लगा और 2-wheeler 3-wheeler सेमिति ही चार्ज हवा. only point of time you need it is कि मु लॉन्ग ट्रिप करछि मु एठू गली चेन्नई.
That the only thing you have to plan.
हाँ, that is the only thing you have to plan. It's like there are fast charging points we deploying, government is deploying, petrol bunks are deploying, even private players are deploying. So that I think is a solution on its way. But now what we are doing also in recent times is we are standardizing 2-3-wheeler fast charging also. So a new product we launched this year only. So because our focus was also 2-3-wheelers, though we are making for everything. But what we realized is कि 2-3-wheeler जो बोला हमारा अगर फोन रे सब अलग अलग कनेक्टर्स थिले चार्जर थिले नोकिया रो अलग सैमसंग रो अलग मोटरोला रो अलग. तो एबे OEMs are at that state. समस्त कनेक्टर अलग. Even government is pushing कि समस्त USB-C भलिया कि छोटे यूज करो. They have released 2 standards. So we have now released a product in the market which is doing phenomenally well this year. This is standardized product. It can charge any brand. Today you can charge Ola Ether in the same product. We have built the technology India रे ही नहीं मैंने globally first essentially which can charge any brand of 2-wheeler 3-wheeler. Because see people are still associating कि मु पेट्रोल पंप रे जाई कि ना चार्ज करिवे. But actually पेट्रोल पंप रे like there is nothing to stay beyond 2-3 minutes. Even if you are fast charging you have to wait for 15-30 minutes. A 2-wheeler or a 3-wheeler also. Right? You need something like a tea, snacks or some restaurant at least, some thing you can basically pass time with. The actual EV charging points where we are seeing the most utilizations are basically either the dark stores or we are seeing it in front of the restaurants, small cafes. उडुपी अच्छी जो बांग्लोर बहुत गुड़े जो इडली डोसा सांबर मिलूची तो सेठी सब लोक जाइना खाई दौरान मस्त चार्ज कर 15 मिनट रे चा पीउछंती कि कॉफी पीउछंती आ सीधा बाहर. इफ यू कोरिलेट दिस विथ पेट्रोल वर्ल्ड, वुड यू लाइक टू गो टू अ पेट्रोल पंप? No, if you're traveling with your family in a car also, there are 2 chargers. One charger is placed right in the petrol pump. The other charger is a few kilometers away in a restaurant where you can have food, you can go to the washroom, you have some time to spend. So which one would you use? The एडा हला difference. The thing is now the petrol companies will start losing customers. Like मो भले जदि आउ के गोटे EV किनी देला, every customer which is switching to a EV they are losing a permanent customer for life who used to pay them every month a few thousand rupees at least. So that is the economics which is playing out.
One question not related to your company, but बहुत लोगों को होती कि when you talk about environmental losses, there's nothing we get better because India में mostly electricity coal रू ही generate हुए.
That is something where the grid has to change also with the solar introduction and on rooftops. Now you are a consumer, okay? Can you be truly energy independent with solar on your rooftop, battery storage and EV? तुम घर ऊपर सोलर लगे दियो गवर्नमेंट रो सब्सिडी चली पीएम सूर्योदय स्कीम रे सोलर लगे घर ऊपर व्हिच कैन जनरेट इनफ एंड मोर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी हैला यू कैन स्टोर इट इन द बैटरीज एंड यू कैन यूज ईवी आज जे आपण केबे भी घर तळे खोली किना कुओर पानी बाहर कर पारथिले पेट्रोल बाहर नथिला बट today with the technology shift if you integrate all these technologies you can generate solar on your rooftop use it for your own internal house consumption and use the EV as your driver. You are energy independent,
yes.
Truly.
Okay.
Not just as a country, but even as a person, as a consumer.
So माने EV रे scope अच्छी, ICE रे सेतिकी भी नहीं.
ICE रे नहीं. Anywhere माने you have to import petrol.
It was a very good discussion. मतलब कि we will छोटो small break now and then we have some questions and then we go ahead. So let's see what do we have for today. Oh, okay. Hero Bhaja. So this is you've seen the podcast. So some podcast we try to get some local thing. Yeah. So it I think has again come from Chappan Bhog near Jagannath Temple. जो Agrahara Jagannath Temple Bangalore is he aschi. What do you love eating?
दही बरा आलुदम मो पे बेस्ट मासरे एटलिस्ट थरे दी थरो ऑर्डर करके ना हमर कुक भी ओडिया तो ताकू कहि कि ना बना करे बैंगलोर रे जेबडू मो अच्छी 12 वर्ष हो गलानी I have developed a taste for idli sambar dip ଆଉ जो दिन छुट्टी थाए मो भाई पखाड़ भात माछ भजा खाइकिना सोइबो
जो संडे और पखाड़ भात माछ भजा
नॉट एवरी संडे बट मु भी ट्रैवल कर थाए तो जब भी टाइम मिले मासको थरे दिथ तो हेई जाए
You miss Odisha food एटी की ना एटी मिली जाए सब
ना बैंगलोर आई थिंक सेटा टिके ये अछि कि मिली जिवो जहा भी अछि क्वालिटी इज अ क्वेश्चन कि केते भल मिलिबो ये सी बट मिली जिवो मोर और लेस अगरु खाली माराथली साइड रे मिलुला ओडिया खाइबा बट एबे से छप्पन भोग हेरिका अछि एटी दी चारटा रेस्टोरेंट भी खोल जाय छी
भुवनेश्वर कले कौन स्ट्रीट फूड खाती
भुवनेश्वर रे दहीबरा आलुदम गुपचुप
अच्छा you don't say on camera कि भुवनेश्वर रे दहीबरा आलुदम खाए लोग माने रागी जिवे they think the worst दहीबरा आलुदम is भुवनेश्वर
maybe but that's the best I can get
any good places in भुवनेश्वर
दी तीन वर्ष ही रही छी बट सेतले आरडी वुमेन्स कॉलेज सामने बहुत से चाट लाइन था सबु दिन मु मोर तीनटा सांग के स्वाईंकर कोचिंग परे आमे रोल खाइबू सेठी जाइकिना साइकिल धरिकिना आउ नूडल्स खाइबू लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स हैव चेंज्ड इन भुवनेश्वर आल्सो सिंस देन
भुवनेश्वर has changed
still think भुवनेश्वर लाइक a lot of my friends who have been there जो माने जाइचंती बाहरु काम करिया को कि मो बाहागर बागरे भी जाइतले तो जो माने भी जाइचंती समस्ते कहिचंती कि भुवनेश्वर इज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट सिटीज दे हैव विजिटेड essentially in terms of public infrastructure just looking कि रोड्स केते चौड़ा अछि फुटपाथ अछि सी अछि they were blown away
yes माने I would not disagree to this Bhubaneswar was designed as such I always compare Bhubaneswar to Chandigarh ठीक अछि where we failed and where Chandigarh didn't fail is the expansion तो कौन हला आमे अलाउ कर देलो कि हो ठीक अछि यू आर नॉट ऑन द यूनिट तो हमें टिके नयापल्ली गाँव भितर गोटे अपार्टमेंट कर दियो कि डुप्लेक्स कर दियो लक्ष्मी सागर गाँव भितर को चंडीगढ़ डिडंट अलाउ दिस चंडीगढ़ से unless and until आमे गोटे एरिया को सेक्टर नॉट डिक्लेयर करूछु you cannot build ठीक अछि so the Chandigarh charm still remains and Bhubaneswar is failing on the outskirts but where Bhubaneswar failed is कि ता परे planning never happened एबे होची एबे टीपी स्कीम्स होची टाउन प्लानिंग स्कीम्स होची एंड देन न्यू सिटी बिल्ट अप होची कलिंगनगर आरे घाटी के आड़ो बहुत कम होची बट माने वी मिस दैट पीरियड
no it's better late than never
रिटायरमेंट कोठी करियो
रिटायरमेंट यार मो तो मोर मन अछि तो घरे बट एबे बहुत दूर न अछि $30 million
in funding right and it is huge right and ଲୋକମାନେ ଭାବନ୍ତି ଓ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟଅପ୍ ହେଇଗଲା ପଇସା ହେଇଗଲା ଆସିଗଲା ବଟ୍ ଆଇ ନୋ ଦ ପ୍ରେସର ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟସ୍ ନାଉ ସୋ ହାଉ ବିଗ୍ ଇଜ୍ ଦ ପ୍ରେସର ଆଣ୍ଡ ମାନେ କେତେ ଶୀଘ୍ର ଗ୍ରୋ କରିବାର ଅଛି?
Total 30 million we raised till I think 2022 starting range. So we have spent a lot of that fund also. The pressure is always on essentially, like especially after funding तो बहुत ही अधिक pressure था. Before starting out probably I was thinking the other way, but this is a grind essentially. And like I was telling you कि to be always ahead in the game कि एटा आसबार अच्छी एई टाइम रे कले एई प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च कले आमे अधिका मार्केट अडॉप्शन होबो. आज इंडस्ट्री इज वेरी नीसेंट, इट्स जस्ट स्टार्टिंग. टोटल 5-6% अडॉप्शन थी इंक्लूडिंग 2 व्हीलर 4 व्हीलर 3 व्हीलर. सो वी हैव टू ग्रो अनदर 20 टाइम्स एटलिस्ट. सो द थिंग इज द जदि आपण एटा को मोबाइल रे देखिबे तो मोबाइल जो 5% लोक यूज करुले आज तो पाखापाखि 80-90% थी. जब 5% यूज करते से फोन्स शेप साइज केमी थिला वर्सेस नाउ वी हैव टू बिल्ड टेक्नोलॉजीज. वी हैव टू मेक श्योर दैट वी आर एबल टू डिस्ट्रीब्यूट इट. वी हैव टू मेक श्योर कि कस्टमर्स माने जो आसुचंती तांकर एक्सपीरियंस भल होचे एंड वी हैव टू कीप इंप्रूविंग ओवर टाइम. इट्स नॉट
एंड एट अ वेरी फास्ट पेस
माने व्हाटएवर हैज हैपेंड लास्ट 10 वर्ष रे फोन्स रे आमे फोन किनुथले सेटरे माने राती 10 टा रु लगेले सकाळ 4टा जाय चार्ज होतला. एबे 15 मिनिट रे चार्ज हो जाउची. दैट टाइम विल आल्सो कम इन द ईवीज. But that time will come over the next few years. So we have to build for that. Mainly customer education also is very big essentially in this. कहीं ना लोक मैंने प्रथम थर EV यूज करते जो लोक मैंने प्रथम थर स्मार्टफोन यूज कले तो सेतबले तांकु पूरा शिखा पड़ा कि ओला केमिति बुक करिवो केमिति स्विगी रू ऑर्डर करिवो केमिति फ्लिपकार्ट रू ऑर्डर करिवो. तो से सब जिनस बेसिकली हबार अच्छी एंड चार्जिंग इज अ पार्ट ऑफ द EV इकोसिस्टम.
सो गोटे जिनस मु देखुची कि नाउ इवन विथ कंपनी हु लुकिंग इनटू ग्रोथ बट स्टिल शोइंग नेगेटिव रिटर्न्स पीपल आर ट्रस्टिंग देम फॉर IPO. सो व्हाट इज योर पर्सपेक्टिव टू इट कि मु ग्रोथ स्टॉप करी कि पॉजिटिव है कि जीबी कि न जीबी कि आई विल गो विथ दिस. व्हाट इज योर पर्सपेक्टिव एंड योर कंपनीज पर्सपेक्टिव?
आई थिंक बिकॉज ऑफ द लास्ट फ्यू इयर्स टिके IPO स्टार्टअप सब ये सब जिनस बहुत अधिक डिस्कशन होची घरे घरे. बट इफ यू लुक एट इट टुडे वी आर स्टिल नॉट देयर इन टर्म्स ऑफ एवरीथिंग एसेंशियली. वी हैव अ टारगेट सेट फॉर द नेक्स्ट 1 year at least is to be profitable first and then look at growing a bit more essentially before we make any calls like that. Because if you look at Ather essentially in the same industry, they are more than I think 15-17 years old. So they've been at it from 2010-2012 essentially. So we started in 2018-2019 if you look at it. So हमको भी time तो लगी हुआ है. Obviously a lot of companies do it much faster also, but I think आमे निजे भी सीखू जो बहुत जिनसो. So we would like to be looking at it from the perspective that how do we get profitable first and then look at what should we do next.
And books to सब properly manage हो through for IPO. That is the main thing.
So all of those are managed essentially now, but I think IPO is a call which will take after some time. बहुत एबे नुआ companies अच्छंती. I think thanks to Ola Ather there is a new interest in the market for EV this thing. But I think I still at the venture scale we are still very small compared to them when they went IPO. So I think that we have to grow at least to be there.
This comes to the next question कि EV industry and Odisha कि government किसी invite करूची setup करूची किसी हेलानी से इठी.
I haven't also interacted with a lot of people in Odisha government essentially on this. If you ask me, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Karnataka government also are giving out red carpet treatment to anybody who's setting up EV or EV ancillary products.
Yeah, I don't understand why can't we not get any industry, not EV industry, even any industry beyond mineral and resources. माने mineral and resources industry naturally भुवनेश्वर ओडिशा ही आसीबो. But beyond that गोटे इंडस्ट्री रो क्लस्टर टा सेटअप करिबा आमे जमा करि पारुनो. माने आईफोन आछी हैदराबाद नहीं की पड़ोची, कार आछी आइदर गुजरात की तमिलनाडु नहीं पड़ोची. माने we have to focus into an industry, give them that ready made product to give, but
I don't know enough about industry ecosystem development. The government should act proactively. They should find some clusters they want to develop. For example, like talking about China essentially, they have done this. If you go to one city, you'll find one product and one product manufactured at scale at any quality you want. So ଏଇଭଳିଆ କିଛି କ୍ଲଷ୍ଟର୍ସ ଆମକୁ ଡେଭଲପ୍ କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ ଓଡ଼ିଶାରେ ବେସିକଲି ଦ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ହ୍ୟାଜ୍ ଟୁ ଲୁକ୍ ଇନ୍ ଟୁ ଇଟ୍ ବଟ୍ ଆଇ ୱାଣ୍ଟ ଟୁ ସେ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ କି ସବୁ ଷ୍ଟେଟ୍ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ଆର୍ ବେସିକଲି ଡୁଇଂ ଅଲ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଦିସ୍ ଇଫ୍ ୟୁ ଲୁକ୍ ଆଟ୍ ଗୁଜରାଟ ମହାରାଷ୍ଟ୍ର even UP essentially when I went there. I think Orissa it's somewhere not there essentially. But so, even if you look at tourism, I will ask you this: tourism is a good industry.
Yes. Mane, we went to the tourism department together. I think 2 months back, 3 months back, and you saw there. Mane, there was a guy sitting in EY. He said, "Ei jagata dei haba, kintu dei habani. Ei jagata dei haba, kintu dei habani. Are last year kette jaga deicha na dei habani." So dei habani. Then how would you promote tourism? You go to Thailand, every seaside destination is decorated, done, hotels are done well. Amoro hi CRZ kamuduchi. Amoro hi macho CRZ pai mari jibe ta Thailand ro macho maribani.
If you look at tourism as an industry, because I've stayed in Goa also for 8 years, I've seen basically the how it takes shape. Obviously, every place has some problem or the other which crops up, but the thing is, it has benefited the population.
Population, yes.
Highest national per capita GDP. Yes. Goa. Government is doing a lot of stuff, this tourism industry, religion-based tourism across India. Odisha should be a part of it, I think. And we should like leverage that a lot.
We should learn from Thailand. The whole Indian tourism, especially Odisha tourism, should learn from Thailand. The way they built industry, the tourism industry, and something for everyone. Kids paying go to destination achi, family paying go to destination achi, single businessman paying go to destination achi, and everything is so. Marriage paying go to city achi. You go to Hawaiian, it's only for marriage. You go to Koh Samui, it's only for high spenders. They planned it so well. ଆମେ ତ ଖାଲି CRZ ଦେଖି ଜମି ନ ପାଇକି ସେଇ ସେତିକି ରେ ଅଛୁ.
I think ମୁଁ ଯାହା ବୁକ୍ ଯାହା ବି ପଢ଼ିଛି ସେଥିରେ there is a curse of minerals also. Look at Africa. I should not go the other way. It is always basically कि ଯୋଉଠି ସବୁଠୁ ଅଧିକା materials ଅଛି they will remain the poor. Whereas the least resource countries, especially Europe, essentially, बहुत कम resource, they are the richest. And I think it's something to do with the evolutionary psychology or something like that कि लोग माने जदि कम resource अच्छी they will share and they will basically develop whatever they have, they will do value addition, they will cooperate much better, they will govern much better.
ଯେମିତି କୁହନ୍ତି, why do Marwadi people slog a lot? Because at the point of time they had nothing. The land had no crops, no water, nothing, and they had to survive. So the survival instinct is there for last 200 years. And ଆମ ଓଡ଼ିଶାରେ ଘରୁ ବାହାରିଲେ ସେଠି crop ମିଳିବ, ଚିକୁ ମିଳିବ, ଇଏ ମିଳିବ, ତ ଆମେ ପୁରା ଶାନ୍ତିରେ ଅଛୁ.
Maybe.
That abundance caused this.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but Marwadi and basically most of the people from Gujarat doing pretty well essentially. They'll trade something. Like everything is business there. In Odisha, it's not the case. Most of the time, parents are like, you got a education hegala, job kar diyo. I'll also ask everybody also to at least give it a serious thought. I'm sure it is not for everybody. People who can take that risk, who can...
That is always our last question, but you're answering it. Please, go ahead.
Yeah, but I think you should try it. And with the technology और ये सब जो जहाँ change होची आजकल, I am very worried कि AI सहित what will be the job disruption and everything else. So the best way to mitigate that is to become an entrepreneur in yourself. It's not कि you are just a freelancer is also entrepreneurship. You are a content creator is entrepreneurship. I think entrepreneurship is as a career path. Should be much promoted, and in Orissa at least there is a large requirement of it. If there are more people, then probably the government will be much more proactive.
The base of the podcast, the reason we're doing this podcast is India 20 ବର୍ଷ ବହୁତ grow କରିବ and Odisha will be part of it. So it is the right time to be an entrepreneur, right time to start something, right time to go into this business.
ଆଉ ଏବେ ବହୁତ ଟେକ୍ନୋଲୋଜି ଆଉ ଇଏ ସବୁ ମର୍ଜ ହେଉଛି. ଆପଣ ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ୍ ଦେଉଥିଲେ କି AI video generated for your marketing campaign. So that is something even I was doing essentially a couple of months back in our company also, and this was not there 4-5 years back also. I remember paying through the nose for taking an ad shot. Now you just do a good prompt.
And you saw our video.
Yeah. Actually, you believe me not, 3 months back when this video AI came in, I sit with my team, the marketing team and video generation team, and still basically bug them every day ki this is the video I wanted to be replicated or a video to be done in our brand.
Like a 40-year-old, I think it will take me a long time to study about AI, right? But it's a perfect opportunity for somebody say, "Jay, 20 ବର୍ଷ ଅଛି, 22 ବର୍ଷ ଅଛି, 23 ବର୍ଷ ଅଛି." What are your ideas on AI regarding that? କି ଗୋଟେ ପିଲା କରିପାରିବ ସେମିତି AI କୁ ପଢ଼ିକି ଶିଖିକି ସବୁ ନ୍ୟୁ ବିଜନେସେସ୍ ନ୍ୟୁ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ୍ ସଲ୍ଭ କରିପାରିବ?
Like AI is creating a kind of like जो भला मु EV विषय कहली ICE versus EV. AI is a shift like that and much bigger actually. When AI just came out, I think 2-3 years back, ChatGPT and all. Since then, I have not written like one single mail. I used to spend like 20-30 minutes just to think ki how it will be looking like grammatically, whether it is conveying the correct emotion, whether the click to action or the call to action is good enough. Now it's basically a process. This is the context for me. This is what I want the call to action to be. All of that is written and completely documented and grammatically correct by AI. So it's augmenting my task also.
He even more staff na, you know, the junior level staff not very good with English and से किछि भी कर देबे से जाई कि ऑफिसर संगे कथा भी हेकी आसी परिबे एंड जूनियर स्टाफ सब कर देबे किंतु लेटर लिखिया बडे दिल राइट ठीक अछि एवरी डे दे विल टेल मी सर लेटर लिख दियंतु से का लेटर लिख दियंतु एंड दैट प्रॉब्लम हैज वैनिश्ड माने से निजे लेटर लिखि दोचंती माने लीगल रेफरेंसेस पकई दोचंती सब पकई दोचंती स्मॉल थिंग्स इट हैज हेल्प्ड सो मच.
So when you are looking at it कि आगରୁ हमको 100टा 1000टा लोक दरकार एबे you don't need so many people. That's one of the clear things I can see.
Things are becoming faster.
Is much faster. मते जदि गोटे आगरू डेक बनार थिला तो बहुत टाइम लागुथला जनक सहित बस सी कोन बुझिकिना जीव तापर सप्ताह पर नेकिना आसीबो सेटाकू सेथरे पुणी चेंज करियो 2-3 सप्ताह इटरेशन एबे इट इज लाइक अ 2-hour job for me. I think for the youngsters who are coming into the workforce now, for them when they see these technologies जदि ସେମାନେ ସେଟାକୁ adopt କରି परिबे
upskill न करिवे
खाली upskill नहीं, you have to think एटाକୁ मु कोडी real life situation ने use करि परिबे. If you are able to find some problem and find a solution with AI for it, then it is easy to get businesses essentially.
No, we compared Odisha to India, and you're somebody who's traveled so well in China. Yeah. So we are lagging in all the sectors. I think most of the sectors we are lagging in. So see the केमिति से gap टा close हेई परिबो नी or कौन अच्छी. What is your statement in it?
So maybe I am too small to make an impact, but what I have seen is China रे बहुत अधिक like governments push for new sectors to create from zero.
Like you saw robotics now.
You saw robotics, AI, you see DeepSeek essentially. That one company basically took down the $3 trillion of market cap from US FANG companies. So the thing is like they are very forward thinking in this thing. Everybody in India knows ki visa new in India at least. In China it was a phenomenon 10-20 years back. From then the government has been pushing companies, giving them subsidies for developing the core technologies. Solar also the same thing. Essentially they have been way ahead essentially. So some forward thinking from the policy makers, not just mane Odisha, but this is like a national thing. And I think developing clusters is something which the government should do aggressively, and they should task like not just this centrally how many clusters are formed, even they should track and monitor and give whatever benefits or subsidies to the state and city level guys also.
PLI help କରୁଛି India रे.
PLI is good if you are already a big company essentially. The structure of the PLI in India is like a
minimum
investment should be like few thousand crores.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So what China has done essentially, I was studying their case study. So they have like a stars program. They have like pyramid structure of sorts. Each city has to produce some startups, okay, which they will support. So there are like maybe 100,000 startups at the national level essentially, all across all cities, states, towns, villages. Then there are like top, let's say 10,000 startups will qualify to the state level. Then there are 1,000 startups who will go for the central level.
So it's like state competition,
It's like
national competition.
And then the policies and everything are tweaked based on how the startups can survive and thrive in this world, and what is the impact they can have on the technology and making sure that they are ahead of the entire global production. Who are the champions of this? Xiaomi, Vivo, BYD. So ଏଇଭଳିଆ କିଛି କିଛି ସେମାନେ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, and this is like a 10-year 20-year plan. This will not give you any results right now. You are seeing their results because they were investing in these policies 20 years back. Like that is how forward thinking they are.
So production linkages will not help. ମାନେ
Production linkages will help essentially in some cases कि जोथिरे already economies of scale ହେଇଗଲାଣି ये स्मार्टफोन रे हेल्प करूଛି already ହେଲା ଏବେ ऑटोमोटिव रे आछी ईवी रे आछी बट बड़ कंपनीज मानको पय आछी
like I was seeing this semiconductor chip पूरा story टा very difficult to replicate. ମାନେ
very difficult to replicate but
we can do the low cost ones but low cost ones is overall global growth रे किछि भी नहीं.
so you can probably indigenize some of the parts of it. But to be ahead, you have to invest in that. Like, for example, China invested some ludicrous amount of money, I think $70 billion or $100 billion.
I think even Samsung couldn't do it. Yeah, something like that. There's a story that only Taiwan can.
Only Taiwan could.
Nobody can do it.
And they made it a national policy in 80s and 90s that they will be ahead in the semiconductor game. 80s 90s रे जब semiconductor आसुथला electronics then they worked with this guy who was in the US, the founder. He came back to Taiwan. He pitched to the government that I will make sure that we are ahead essentially of the entire semiconductor race, which will happen for the next 20 30 40 years. But we need like investment from the government, private bodies, everything. Government facilitated all of that, and it took them a long time to reach where they are now. They are like the leaders. They were not the leaders even 5-10 years back, but it's an investment which they have made like from 80s 90s. So there is a lot of things, but we have never invested in the research
Yes.
or the making the technology feasible to extract it out. Maybe percentage wise कम थिबो, but China is also facing the same problem. That's how they made the rare earth और सब जिन सब बाहर करूचंती. Obviously ସେମାନେ ଏବେ mining ଯାଇକିନା again Africa रे सब mines किनी सारलेनी. बट ସେମାନେ କେତେ ଫରୱାର୍ଡ଼ ଥିଙ୍କିଂ କରିକିନା ଏଇସବୁ ଜିନିଷ 15-20 ବର୍ଷ ଆଗରୁ ସେମାନେ ଇନଭେଷ୍ଟ କରିକିନା ମାଇନ୍ସ କିଣି ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିଦେଇଥିଲେ. So you go there, look at the infrastructure. Like I have very much complained about the infrastructure in India. I went there first in 2016-17. Shanghai to the place I wanted to go was 500-600 kilometers. I reached there in 2 hours, bullet trains. Okay. ଆମେ ଏଠି ଓଡ଼ିଶାରୁ ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱରରୁ ଏଠି ଆସିବା ପାଇଁ ଆମକୁ ଟ୍ରେନରେ ଯଦି ଯିବାର ଅଛି ତାହେଲେ ଇଟ୍ସ 24 hours ଜର୍ନି. ଠିକ୍ ଏଇଠୁ ମୋତେ ଚେନ୍ନାଇ ଯିବାର ଅଛି, ଚେନ୍ନାଇ 5-6 hours. The more you connect essentially the cities, the better the economies will become.
And ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ବି ବୁଲେଟ୍ ଟ୍ରେନ୍ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ ସାରି ପାରୁନୁ.
ଆମେ ତ ସାରି ପାରୁନି. But like the thing is कि होଉଛି କିଛି progress but not at the pace which India needs today. There is something like you need to think about quality of life also. ବଡ଼ ବଡ଼ cities ରେ the quality of life has taken a hit. ସେଭଳିଆ କିଛି ନାହିଁ. ମୁଁ ସାଂଘାଇରେ ବି ରହିଛି ମାସେ ଶେନଜେନରେ ରହିଛି. Big cities, very good quality of life. There is obviously as big of a population as India essentially in those cities, but very well managed. So it's not like ମୁଁ ଖାଲି China ही जाइए. I have traveled to other countries also, but you look at anyone, like look at Thailand or Indonesia, everywhere it is.
Just leave everything. Look at Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka also is much better, right? So, like though they are facing economic crisis essentially.
That is because of the borrowings,
But the thing is कि माने ये सब जिनिस like the government should kind of think about what they are giving back to the citizens. It's not like कि ट्रम्प କହିଦେଲା $100,000 ବୋଲି ଲୋକମାନେ ଆଜି US ପଳେଇବେନି. They will go somewhere else essentially because they aspire to have a good quality of life. In fact, more close friends who I think 70-80% are outside India. Not because कि ଏଠି ତାଙ୍କୁ opportunity ମାନେ ଇଏ ମିଳୁନଥିଲା କି ପଇସା ମିଳୁନଥିଲା, but the opportunity they are getting there, the quality of life, ସେମାନେ basically move କରିଯାଇଛନ୍ତି ସେଠି.
I mean, it's a huge way forward.
Yeah, it's a long way forward, but we should start walking.
Start running.
Start running, yeah.
Thanks, Jyoti. बहुत ଭଲ ଲାଗିଲା.
Thank you and welcome to Bangalore.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. So, ଆଜିର ଏପିସୋଡରେ ଆମେ ଶିଖିଲୁ କେମିତି ମିଷ୍ଟର ଜ୍ୟୋତିରଞ୍ଜନ ହରିଚନ୍ଦନ turned an idea into India's fastest growing EV charging network. ଯଦି ଏଇ କନଭରସେସନ୍ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଇନ୍ସପାୟାର କରଲା, ଭିଡ଼ିଓ ସେୟାର କରନ୍ତୁ ଆଉ ୟୁଟ୍ୟୁବ୍ ଚ୍ୟାନେଲକୁ ସବସ୍କ୍ରାଇବ୍ କରନ୍ତୁ. ମୁଁ ପଙ୍କଜ ମୋଟୱାନି, ଦେଖା ହେବି ନେକ୍ସଟ ଏପିସୋଡରେ with another inspiring business story. ନମସ୍କାର.